Internet. I'm Hugo.
And I just masturbated.
And this is Unpopular Culture. Oh, there goes our under 18 audience. Anyway,
there goes our monetization.
yeah.
I saw there was an episode the other day. I don't remember which one it was, but I didn't say my name, and someone's like, "Who the fuck is that other guy?" Now I'll never know.
It's funny. So today we're talking about something exciting and also disappointing, and that is the SNES Classic. Jake, do you know why it's disappointing?
I do know why it's disappointing. I have Amazon notifications sent to my phone, and I'm still gonna miss it.
Yep, because none of you are gonna get to play it, probably. If y'all don't remember or were unaware, last year Nintendo around Christmas time came out with the NES Classic, which is a miniature version of the original NES that had like 20 or so built-in games. It was very popular. They sold out immediately. Scalpers got their hands on them, and they went from being, I think, $60 to upwards of $200 on eBay and stuff like that. Now, this is just me. For those of you out there who want something like that, if you're that desperate, you can get something called a Retro Pi. It's a little, they use those Raspberry Pi computers and they install emulators on them. Much cheaper, much easier to do. You can get some tutorials and you might learn some coding along the way. So I'd recommend that if you're that desperate to play ROMs and stuff in that sort of
There is a difference though. ROMs sometimes with those older games, they're not quite as responsive as the actual consoles, and that's the main. It's like, okay, the people that only retro game are the same type of people that like jizz onto vinyls of Radiohead.
It's a crisper sound. Anyway, I do like record players, but anyway, I'm a little bit of a hipster. I get it. So now they're coming out with the SNES Classic. Now, I'm of two minds. This one's a little bit more expensive. This one's $80 instead of $60. Better games, though, and I also think they're using this as maybe. I don't know if this is intentional or not. Maybe they're trying to do this as sort of a measure to try and control supply and demand and try and say, well, if it's a little more expensive, maybe it'll drop some people off who won't pay $80 for it.
Yeah, but how many are they making?
That's the point, because the NES Classic, as good as it sold, Nintendo, like, after, like, 3 months, already discontinued it. They're just not making them anymore. If you want one, you gotta buy them on eBay from an asshole scalper. And there are photos of people with, like, 20 of these things stacked up. You know, obviously, they're scalpers. That's what they do. So, let's go over the games, at least, because they are good games. The product itself is probably going to be solid. Looks like a little tiny SNES, just like you remember it. The controllers... one of the problems with the NES Classic was apparently the controller wire length. It was way too short. Now, with the Super Nintendo Classic, apparently they've extended the cords, so hopefully that won't be a problem anymore. So, let's go over the list of these games. Let's go over the top one. Well, should I start with the great ones or build up? What do you think?
Build up. Always build up. Never start with the money shot. This isn't a compilation.
Yeah. So, we have a couple Kirby games. We got Kirby's Dream Course, and I believe there's another Kirby game. Yeah, Kirby Superstar, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Punch-Out, Castlevania 4. Oh, sorry, it's Super Punch-Out. My bad, of course. Donkey Kong Country, Mega Man X, Final Fantasy 3, Star Fox, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Secret of Mana, Earthbound, Super
Earthbound is fantastic.
Yeah, Super Goblins and Ghosts. Then some of our top ones, F-Zero. Everyone loves them, some F-Zero.
I love the music.
Yeah. Super Metroid, obviously that's great. Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Mario Kart, Super Mario World, and then finally the big selling point. This is the one they're really, really putting on the box and pushing. Interesting in and of itself. There was a Star Fox 2 that never came out for the Super Nintendo, and the reason was the game was about like 90 to 95% done apparently, but it never got released because the Nintendo 64 was about to come out. So instead Nintendo said, okay, we'll take those resources, we'll just build Star Fox for Nintendo 64. And that's what they did, and they never released Star Fox 2. Now with the SNES Classic, they're finally finishing and releasing Star Fox 2. So we're essentially getting a never-before-played, never-finished, brand-new SNES title, and that is so strange. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I mean, Super Mario World, you can't... Like, there's emulators out there, wink, but it's kind of hard to find them, actually, comparatively, because they cracked the fuck down on the Mario properties a lot, especially in the early 2000s. It was really hard to get.
You can find them now.
Well, you can find the torrents weren't a thing quite as much as it is now, but it. I would buy that. I would buy that immediately. $80 is no cost at all to buy that. Though all those games and the system, if you bought them all separately on eBay or through collectors or antique shops or whatever you got going on, your game shop might have some stuff. You'd be spending way more than that. Probably 10 times. You'd probably spend $800.
I'm generally of the opinion if I can get something for cheaper, I will. So I'd probably, if I was intent on playing these, I'd still probably just get like a Raspberry Pi and load that up.
Yeah, I have a Raspberry Pi. I think I more want the... I never was fortunate enough as a kid to own any of the... Like, my first console was a Sega Genesis, not a Super Nintendo.
Right.
My dad had a Nintendo, and then I don't know if that got sold, or at some point we just didn't have it anymore, and I don't remember why. But, so I kind of missed Super Nintendo unless I was at friends' houses, and I always thought the Super Nintendo was better than what I had, because it was. And I didn't have a 64, and I didn't have a GameCube, and it was always friends' houses kind of things. And so I kind of missed the nostalgia of it because I didn't get to sit down and play it for the 800 plus hours that most of my friends did. It was always like, oh, like I remember specifically having fond memories of the Spawn game. That's how detached from SNES I was.
Yeah, I wish there was. Oh man, the one game on here. You know what game I'm gonna say? I wish it was on here, and that's Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo
Well, you
game.
have an actual Super Nintendo though.
Not anymore. I think I got rid of it at some point.
Did you get rid of it? Yeah.
Yeah, remember we were really poor at one point.
Yeah, we were.
And
Holy
I was like,
shit,
oh,
were we poor at one point?
I need food. I should probably sell this Super Nintendo, which is we're fine now. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're good.
I'd like to rebuy a Super Nintendo and rebuild that collection. That would be fun. But
yeah, same. But this I would buy if I could get a hold of it. I don't even. How many units are they even making? I put on the Amazon thing. I put notifications. I'll buy it the second it comes out, and I'll still probably miss it. I barely got a Switch.
Yeah,
literally, Hugo went on 5 minutes after I bought mine, and it was gone.
Yeah. By the way, if that happens again with the SNES Classic, let me know. I don't think I'll buy it, but
I'll buy two probably.
You might catch me on one of those days. Oh, don't be a scalper. Don't scalp
What?
it.
No, I'd give it. It was for you.
Oh, okay.
It's for you, buddy.
Oh. Isn't it sad that I assumed you were just being a dick and you were really looking out for me?
No. I mean, that's warranted. I mean, all the evidence would point to that.
That's fair. Anyway, let us, guys, do you think in the comments, is this something are you even in? I guess I don't know the demographics of our audience enough to know if they're people who would just rather spend the $80 or if they'd just get a Raspberry Pi and do it themselves. It's kind of a, do you want to spend the money or do you want to take the time? I don't know.
I thought we weren't supposed to ask normie questions.
Ah, god damn it.
So let's ask a high end, like mind expanded meme question. What do you think Mario's mustache smells like?
Princess Peach's vagina.